City won the treble. Welcome back to another video. 5 things we learned after Manchester City's disappointing penalty shootout defeat to Arsenal yesterday in the Community Shield. Football is back. Discourse is back. Online bickering is back. Gobby Arsenal fans are back. Everything is back. Manchester City are back. And I'm back doing 5 things that we learned. I hope you're all good. I hope you're all well. How are you feeling after yesterday? Do let me know down in the comments, because this, of course, is a live video. So I'll chat to some of you as this video is recorded. If you're watching back and not catching it live, hello again, once again to you guys as well. Thank you for supporting the channel. Please do help support the channel a little bit more by hitting that like button and, of course, subscribing if you don't mind. To get me to 7,500 by the end of the day would be massively appreciated. And, of course, we are going to chat about the Community Shield. I am going to immediately get it out of the way. Just the Community Shield. Nice if you win it, irrelevant if you don't. As all the stats yesterday proved it, it's absolutely no bearing on success. In fact, the only team that's actually gone on to win the Premier League after winning the Community Shield in the past 10 years, Manchester City Football Club. Everyone else been miles off. In fact, Leicester won it 1 year, they got relegated, you know, so we know exactly how little it implies the rest of the season. We won a treble last year after losing it. We've lost 3 in a row and we still continued to win the Premier Leagues. So that is all that matters. But still, I can admit it would have been nice to win it. But does it mean anything? No. It literally means nothing in the grand scheme of the important trophies. It's right down at the very bottom. I would rather win the Super Cup. I really would. I'd rather beat Burnley. I'd be more disappointed losing Burnley and the Super Cup and the Club World Cup. Community Shield is just what it is, and that's not me projecting. I do want to win the game, but am I disappointed? Not really. Momentarily. It was when that penalties were missed, but that's pretty much just about it. So let's go on to the first thing that we took from this game. Cole Palmer is ready. And what I mean by ready may be different to what you think by being ready. I mean ready to be a guy who can take 20 to 30 games a season. He can, absolutely. Would I choose him against Arsenal to start tomorrow in the big game? No, I probably wouldn't. I do think we need a senior winger there, and I'd rather have Bernardo or Foden in a big game out on the right. But do I trust him to play most Premier League games and most Cup games and all that kind of stuff? Do I trust him if he came on for 30 minutes if we need a goal? Absolutely. I do feel that way. Do I feel like this guy's got a bit of magic to his game and can score a goal out of nowhere? Yes, because he's a natural goal scorer. And yesterday we saw him in his natural position. And that's one of those things where I feel like Cole Palmer is now ready. Like, he did the shifts out on the left. He did the shifts as a midfielder, as a false 9. He's none of those things. He is a Mahrez replacement in terms of stylistically. I'm not saying he's going to step into Mahrez's shoes and be an experienced elite level winger straight away. No, of course he's not. It's not fair to expect that from any young player. But we saw yesterday that Manchester City aren't suddenly a worse team with Cole Palmer there. He's been around the first team for a couple of years now. He's absolutely not overawed by the sense of occasion at Wembley, as we saw a wonderful goal and a cracking finish. And that's what he can do. That's what he can do. Put him on the left. We saw him put him on the left, and his finish will be doubted. We saw him doubt himself quite a few times last season when he got chances. And everyone was saying his finishing needed to improve. It didn't. He just needed to be shooting from the right angles. He's so good at curling it in like that. It's just his trademark finish. So that's what Cole Palmer is ready for. Like, I still think we need a senior winger. Absolutely. Sign a senior winger, but trust Cole Palmer to be the backup. Like, I just believe it, you know. I don't mind if it's a left winger. Like, the way I see it, if we sign a senior winger, like, for example, Matoma's been linked. If we got Grealish and Matoma on the left-hand side, I'm fine with that, because it means Foden can concentrate being on the right or central. And Bernardo can be on the right or central. We don't have to worry about Foden being Grealish's backup. I am totally fine with signing a left winger. As long as we get a senior winger, I'm happy, because then Cole Palmer can be the backup to Bernardo or Foden. Perfect. Absolutely perfect, because he's more than good enough. Like, imagine we're starting Luton at home in the Premier League. Is anyone bothered if Cole Palmer's out wide? Is anyone surprised if he bags a brace or gets an assist? No one is, because he would start for that team as well. You know he would do. So that is the level where it's like Alvarez played so many games, and Alvarez is a World Cup winner, but he was still a rotation player for us, you know? Like, no one's bothered if Rico Lewis starts. I feel Palmer should be seen in that same light right now, you know? And I think that's where we're at. Palmer is a cracking player. Stay if you're watching Cole. Hang around and you will get minutes, I hope. Second thing that we learned is that Kovacic just fits like a glove. By the way, I love that photo there. Do you know sometimes when you see a new kit and it just sort of hits? There's something about that photo there that just takes me back to being younger. It reminds me loads of that kit 20 years ago with the First Advice logo on. He just looks really like like iconic already. Like it's a bit of a, I think it may be the god rays and the haze of the way that the photo's been taken, but there's just something like sort of classy about that look. It just seems very retro. Do you know what I mean by that photo there? Anyway, but Kovacic was excellent. Patrick as well, and with the member chat saying good morning, Mr. Stephen. Enjoyed the little Sun stories to yesterday's game. Cover's tight. Could see him giving Rodri a rest. Foden, Kevin Palmer, a nice spark. Exactly, mate. Well, we're talking about Kovacic right now. Kovacic is a Manchester City player. I know what he literally is, but what I mean by that is he's just obviously made for this Manchester City side. There is clearly a natural fit to his game. Like, he just gets it. He just gets it. And you can tell that he was just made to be a Manchester City player. So tight and intricate in those crowded spaces. Moves the ball wonderfully. Immediately in my head goes to how does Calvin Phillips get a game? Because Kovacic is clearly going to get that number 6 role ahead of him. He reminds me of Gundogan in that role. He's a man who obviously will improve with time as well, but we already saw his ball retention, his dribbling, his burst of pace from midfield. I've got no doubt whatsoever that he's going to be a fine footballer for Manchester City. He's Guardiola down to a T. So to me, a cracking signing. I think by the end of the season, we'll look at a Premier League winner. In my opinion, will be a Premier League winner. But we'll see a man who just fits this team. And that's what I can't wait to see, how he develops at Manchester City. A cracking player and a Manchester City player. The third thing that I took from this game is that obviously Foden and KDB are key. They're key to our creativity. We absolutely do need them on the pitch. Ideally both, but at least one of them. Like, obviously we will get better creatively. When you've got the likes of Alvarez, Haaland, Grealish, Bernardo on the pitch, like, you should be able to create chances, and I think we will get better creatively. But we were a little bit blunted yesterday. Admittedly, though, we need to remember that it was against Arsenal, one of the best teams in world football. They are. Arsenal are a quality side. So struggling to create chances against Arsenal is there's no embarrassment in that. But we will get better. But at the same time, I think we just know that these two players are key central. Like, they both have an ingenuity and a spark and an unpredictability. Foden with his incredible sprightly runs, he jinks past people. De Bruyne with his just intuitive, brilliant, unheralded vision. Like, no one else has that. And Nadir as well in the comments said Palmer's also very dynamic. He is indeed. That's the word, dynamic. We need that dynamism. Palmer's one of them. Foden's one of them. KDB's one of them. We need dynamic players. If we get a winger as well, I hope they are dynamic. Someone like a Matoma who can run past people and make things happen. Basically, people who just take the tempo up into another gear, and that's what we need. And Foden and KDB have that energy, that dynamism to their game, and fingers crossed, I think Pep will realise that. Like, City were a much better side when they were on the pitch. The next thing that we learned is that Vardiol is needed. I know that sounds crazy because we've got Ake and so on, but I was watching that performance yesterday thinking, do you know what? He's part of the next evolution of this team. Vardiol, Akanji was excellent defensively one-on-one. He did get caught in a couple of times, but overall, Akanji's an excellent defender. But you could tell we were lacking so much down that left-hand side, where I feel like Vardiol won't just be a good defender for us. He'll be great going forward. Like, you can see when you watch that game what we actually need, and to me, it is. We do need that creativity that he'll potentially bring as well. Like, if he's getting forward with those first-time passes, driving past people, he'll help Grealish on the left. He'll help whoever's on the left side. And he has that ability to step in midfield. And I do think if we're going to play Kyle Walker on the right, we need someone who can step forward, into midfield if Stones is not allowed to do it like he wasn't yesterday. And to me, I feel like Vardiol, he's going to actually bring something to this team, the next evolution of this team. So, like as Johnny DeJesus said, Arsenal were forcing us left towards Akanji. They target the press towards that side. We need Josko out there. We need another option because Ake, if he's not available, we need Vardiol. We absolutely do. And I do think Vardiol will actually improve this Manchester City side defensively, creatively, more varied on the ball. He's going to be a massive, massive addition to this Manchester City side. And I think he'll be better than we even realise creatively too. He's going to help our build-up, and I cannot wait to see how he evolves this Manchester City side. And finally, absolutely nothing. We learned nothing. We learned absolutely nothing. It was a typical Manchester City Community Shield performance. We sort of learned nothing in terms of we've been here before a billion times, man. we've been here. Matthew saying, do you plan on saying Vardial indefinitely? No, mate, as you probably noticed, I said Vardiol yesterday. I'm a human. It changes every day. It's just not, it's just a name. Who cares, man? I don't, I'll get it right sometimes, get it wrong sometimes. Like, people get my name wrong all the time. No, it wasn't conscious. It was just, it's because of Guardiola. It's easily done. Anyway, absolutely nothing is what we learned from yesterday. Like, Arsenal fans are getting very giddy. They've said it shows that they can beat Manchester City. They didn't beat us. They beat us on penalties. It was a draw after 110 minutes, whatever it was. But this is where City are at this stage of the season always. Like, this is very much... It's just back at square one for Manchester City. We are always slow to start at the start of the season. If anything, we started a little bit quicker, I would say, than we usually do in the Community Shield. But there is absolutely nothing to panic about. This was Man City are at net zero in terms of our squad status right now. We know City will improve with time. Guardiola always gets us better in time. You know, like I trust this Manchester City side will just take time as they always do. To be honest, I'm being a little bit disingenuous because I thought we were a little bit better than we usually are at this stage of the season. But the another thing is because this is what I expected. I expected a City side that wouldn't be at their sharpest, that Arsenal maybe might even beat. It was penalties in the end. But I expected the internet to go over the top of it, you know, question Haaland, his touches, you know, talk about it being a blow to Manchester City, Arsenal fans to get giddy. Whereas every year this happens. And then City find their rhythm after a couple of months, and then we run away with the Premier League. Every single year it happens. I'm absolutely pretty calm that we've seen enough to know that this City side will actually get into shape and will actually do some wonderful things. That's how I feel about it. They are the 5 things I took from this game. That Cole Palmer could be a massive asset if we use him properly. I'm not saying 45 starts. I'm saying 20 minimum. Absolutely. And he'll win us some games, this boy. Kovacic just fits like a glove. He gets it. Some people get it. Foden and KDB are absolutely key to our creativity. We have to have them on the pitch at all times. Vardiol is needed. He'll help us dynamically down the left-hand side. And absolutely nothing. Nothing has changed. We will be absolutely fine. Guys, that's what I took from this game. Just a quick 5 things that we learned video. Go watch a match reaction from yesterday. Of course, if you haven't already, check out my Vardiol analysis video. And I'll see you tomorrow for another video. I will be doing my big season preview as well in a couple of days' time. I'm looking forward to it. For now, though, I'm going to go and get ready to go out because I've got BBC Manchester podcast this afternoon. Looking forward to doing it. You're all awesome. Please help support the channel. Like this video. Subscribe. City won the treble. In a bit.